All clear. Hey everyone. If you're wondering why am I dressing up in a military outfit and carrying this pistol, well, it turns out that this darn zombie break is spreading. And I think this is going to be my next topic for the day, folks. I'm going to tell you about the zombie films, the whole franchise, created one man. And I have to say, the zombie plague is spreading. I mean, the zombie movies are spreading just like the zombie plague. But enough of that. Well, since there's no zombie around, I think we should get started. And it all started with this man. His name is George A. Romero, and he wanted to make an unbelievable movie that nobody had never seen before. And his inspiration came from that movie when he read the book of I Am Legend. And I'm not talking about that Bruce Willis movie. I mean, I wasn't interested in seeing that movie. Because if you want me to explain about, I Am Legend, I'll let Dracula explain that. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say Bruce Willis? Sorry, I meant Will Smith, not Bruce Willis. I get so confused between names because they both have Will in it, or whatever. Anyway, but the best one, it's close enough to the book, I would say, is Vincent Price, Last Man on Earth. But anyway, the book, I Am Legend, that George A. Romero seen, inspired him to create this. Night of the Living Dead. Now, I remember the first time I seen that movie. I mean, it was unlike anything you ever seen before. And if you want to know how this whole zombie plague happened, the movie here explained that it was supposed to be some sort of a satellite covered with radiation land on the Earth, and the radiation caused the dead to come to life. But some people say it's got to be some kind of virus or Judgment Day. And it was made back in 1968. And it shocked everybody. Heck, I remember the first time I saw it, it shocked me. And I loved the black character, Ben. He was like the sole survivor. Of course, it sucked when they killed him off at the end. A lot of people thought it was a prejudice thing or a communist thing. I say bullcrap. It kind of focused more on the people and how they react in this kind of situation. And then about in 1978, George Romero decided to struck again and do this one, Dawn of the Dead. Now, I gotta say, the music they played in that movie really freaked me out. I mean, I still get goosebumps every time I hear that song. But I do love that other song they play when they're in the mall. Now, it is kind of funny that a group of people who are battling against a bunch of zombies are now in a mall, have all the supplies they need, except a bunch of bikers starts messing it up. Can you believe it? And then about in 1985, same year I was born, he decided to do another one called Day of the Dead. Now, of course, in this one, it's about a group of military people living in a sort of a storage area underground with a whole bunch of zombies out there, group of soldiers and scientists who are trying to work together, and two helicopter pilots, and this one guy who was like the head of the whole army team. He went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And you cocoa too! Anyway, my favorite line after he got his end, where he was attacked by the zombies, he kept on repeating, "Choke on them! Choke on them!" He must have hated zombies more than I do. And then in 1985, they decided to do like a quote-unquote sequel, and it was made to be a horror comedy called Return of the Living Dead. And then they kept making sequels of it after that, from 1985 to 1988, 1996, and even they made 2 sequels around the same year in 2005. And then in 1990, Tom Savini, who did the special effects on Dawn and Land of the Dead, he decided to do a remake. And, to my opinion, I have to say, the remake was a little better. Because I liked the girl, Barbara. Because in the first movie, she was like a helpless, whiny girl who just don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention. George A. lost the right on Night of the Living Dead, and they kept changing the title. It was ridiculous. So, anyway. And, even the copyright kind of... They took the copyright off, so you can easily find Night of the Living Dead on public domain. Heck, you can even find the full movie on YouTube. And then in 2004, year after I graduated, they made a remake of Dawn of the Dead. And you know, there was that one line I like on Dawn of the Dead, where the black guy said, "When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth." You know, here's one thing I'll tell you, folks. I hate zombies. And I'm not the only one here. Dracula hates zombies because they are putting the human race to extinction. And Mr. Death, he hates zombies too because if the zombie plague does spread and everybody starts rising from the grave, it puts Mr. Death out of the job. So, anyway. And then there was this one guy this comedian, goes by the name of Simon Pegg. He decided to make a comedy spoof of zombie films in Britain called Shaun of the Dead, which I have to say, it is outrageous. I may not like zombie films, but I do love zombie comedies. I do enjoy them more. And of course, George Romero loves Shaun of the Dead so much that he had him appear as a cameo in this movie, Land of the Dead. Where now it's in the future, and there's a high-class people living in the top area of the building, while the low-class, they're trying to survive. And, let's see here. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah, and there was that German comedy, it was called Night of Living Dorks, where 3 guys who were picked on by bullies all of a sudden died of a van crash, because some ashes from a zombie got into them and they inhaled it. So now they start becoming zombies. They may have super strength, but here's a catch of being a zombie. Your limbs falls off. And that's a bit embarrassing, having one of the dorks' private fall off. Oof. Anyway, let's see here. Oh yeah, it does remind me. And one thing was really hilarious, it kept rolling across the floor like some bouncy ball. Never seen that in a zombie movie, huh? Except that one zombie comedy I saw called My Boyfriend's Back. I didn't like it. Anyway, oh yeah. This movie was made in 2005, and then on 2006, they decided to make a new remake of Night of the Living Dead, starring one of the actors from Rob Zombie, killing zombies with a pitchfork, called Night of the Living Dead 3D, and I'm not looking forward to see that. And then... in about 2007, George Romero decided to make another zombie film, and this one was actually based from a British movie they made, called Diary of the Dead. And let's see here. And of course, after Diary of the Dead, one thing I had to say was interesting, it was more like a mockumentary, because there's a group of people had this camera and about ready to make a documentary. Well, more like a horror movie, but since the zombie plague was happening around the same time, they decided to make a documentary instead. Of course, it was a good premise ever since Blair Witch came out. But I would say it was pretty good, but the effects was too Hollywood, to say the least. And then, of course, George A. Romero strike again when he made this, Survival of the Dead. Now this one is the latest George A. Romero movie he made in 2010. And what was it about? It's about a group of army men who went to this island, and it's overrun by zombies, but there is a group of people living there. And there is one side group who wants to just kill all the zombies because they hate them. And there's another group of another group of people who kept zombies around, hoping that they'll get back to their memories and try to remember them and try not to eat humans. Which I say is silly to me, because zombies are zombies. I don't like them. But that's my opinion. But after all that zombie film, it's a big thanks to Night of the Living Dead. And if this movie wasn't made, the whole zombie craze wouldn't have happened. And of course, people got really interested in zombie stuff when they kept making them on video games. Like from House of the Dead, these games I have on Wii, and of course the most popular one of all, Resident Evil. Now, here's a little something I gotta tell you, folks. When people were making the movie based on this game, Resident Evil, they wanted George A. Romero to make a movie based from this game. So what he did, now he wasn't much of a gamer, so he hardly ever played games, but he watched the cutscene and wrote a script about it. But sadly, Hollywood wanted him not to make it and have another director or another filmmaker make it. Too bad. Resident Evil would have been a lot better with George Romero in it. With George Romero making it. I guess zombies never end. Don't you even dare. You better turn around and keep walking. Sorry, folks. I just hate zombies, okay? And, ugh. Hey, Dracula, why don't you deal with this zombie, okay? Now, anyway, folks, this is my review of Night of the Living Dead and all the zombie franchise. Now, if you like this review, please leave a comment down below, hit like, subscribe. As for me, I got more zombies to kill. Until next time, something's wrong with my hand. I guess I'll be doing Resident Evil next. So, hope you enjoy, and Dracula would like to say something. Give me back my hand! Now, you listen to me, you little brain muncher. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm clean, you're dirty. I suck, you bite. And there's nothing you can do about it. So get lost. See you soon after I'm done with this corpse.